Animal lovers, it's time for Rescue Radio. And now here are your hosts, Christina Hackett and Chad Atkins.
Welcome to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So now we're both in the studio.
I know. Look at that.
While.
That hasn't happened in a while. I'm a little flabbergasted here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm like, wow, I actually get to sit at the
Well, we're both here.
the table and talk into the mic, and it's not on the phone rushing around like a maniac.
Right. So what have you been up to? I saw you guys had a crazy day the other day.
It's always crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah, me too. I think it's the overcast, the little bit of rainy weather too. It's like, oh.
That and you know, it just this week is I had a little bit of a break mentally for like a second.
Oh.
For a second. Because we were a little slow. Like, you know, right after the holidays, it was like, okay, there's still dogs in need. There's always going to be dogs or
Right.
cats in need. But you kind of slow down. The shelters seem a little less packed. So you're like,
Breathe a little.
for a second. And then you start realizing all the stuff you still have to do because we have our gala coming up in March. We have all this, starting our spay and neuter program again.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like, okay, I can't breathe anymore.
Yeah. Well, January and February tend to be a little bit slower for most things. It's like, I mean, I know even for, like the pet sitting or the turn-ins,
Yeah.
most of them happen, which is really horrible during the holidays. So many people turn in their animals between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You know, we don't find that as much with the rescue part of it for us, but in the shelter, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'm waiting for March, because statistically, and I don't know why, for us, last March was like, let's bring our dog back. It's like,
no.
I think everybody's lonely during the holidays. They adopt, and we do home checks like everything. And I'm not saying we had hundreds of dogs return.
Right.
I'm saying like
But
3
even
or
if you
4.
have one, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it just happened. Like we had one a week, and we're like, "What in the world?" So
that's
4. So we had like 4, but still in the rescue world, that's a lot.
Right.
But when you're adopting out 60, 70, a month, and then you add that between like 3 or 4 months for the holiday season, you got a couple hundred dogs. So 4 is really not that big a deal. But
It feels like it.
it feels like it when
because
you're in
that
rescue.
Dog had a home.
Yes.
And then suddenly you're like, oh.
So exactly, and you know what? We do our best. We do the interview, we do the contract, we do the adoption fee, you do the home check, and that doesn't always mean anything.
Well, I think the key thing in rescue too is if we have a situation like once the dog comes into our program, that's our dog for
Yeah.
life. And Paul works in the same thing with the AFA. We'll always take it back.
Absolutely.
So then, I mean, and we actually, it's in the contract. They have to bring it back. I mean, they're not allowed to.
They're
take
not
it
allowed
the
to take it to
shelter.
the shelter.
So it's like, okay, no, we'll take this dog back, and so that then becomes part of our rescue for life.
Yep.
And so I think that's one of the things. I mean, I know I have just a group of little like misfits at my house because it's like, okay, well, I listened to what they said when they returned the dog. And the dog's not adoptable, but the dog's perfect with me, So
Yep.
it's like,
And something we interestingly did this week, we did a dog swap instead of a wife swap. We did a dog swap.
right.
So we had a dog in our care for quite some time, which is something that we do not like. We do not like
Right.
them. Oh, wow. Is it a commercial break already?
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Kona and Star when we come back from the
Commercial break. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
The legends of Ka'anapali Luau at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel will take your breath away with an abundant feast, spellbinding dances, and music from Lei Pono Productions. Be greeted with a lei and browse to see island crafts made by local artisans. As you hear the pu or conch shell blow, your luau experience will begin. The featured entree is a whole roasted pig and a bountiful menu of some of Hawaii's favorite food choices. Oh, you can't forget our famous made in-house taro poi. As your night comes to an end under the spell of the moon. Be amazed by the famous firewalk. By the end of the night, you'll be full, and we hope you'll have made new friends and some forever memories while you continue to listen to music from Maui's local Hawaiian musicians every Monday night at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel. Kaanapali Beach Hotel voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Call 667-0128 or visit legendsofkaanapali.com for your exciting island adventure.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. Us both being in the studio, we catch up on everything.
It's true. It's our catch-up week. So, and we haven't seen each other in a few weeks. So there's been craziness. So we're usually just on the phone calling in because everything's crazy in rescue. But yeah, I was talking about dog swap, like wife swap. We swapped dogs. And this is something that I think we do well because we play off each other and we feed off each other and we see animals, and sometimes we don't necessarily have the resources, or sometimes it's good to get new eyes on an animal because the next person might see something different.
Right.
So we had Kona with us, and it's been about a year and a half. She's gone into 3 or 4 different fosters. She's been back and forth to boarding.
And she's a bigger girl.
She's a bigger girl.
This is the thing that we've talked about a number of times. I mean, that's one of the challenges with having larger dogs.
Yes.
Because it's not so easy to just get a foster for a larger dog.
Especially a black pit bull, especially with breed restrictions, everywhere. You're less likely to find a foster home for a pit bull than most other dogs. It's a lot easier because there are breed restrictions in apartments and
Condos.
HOAs and everything like that. So it's frustrating. So when you have a dog and you've tried multiple routes and you don't know what to do, but you know that's a good dog, and you're at your last straw, you're like, I can't have this dog lay in a cage for the rest of its life. It's not right.
Well, no, it's not. And we've talked about this a number of times. And you don't want to just take a dog out of the shelter and then put that dog in boarding. And there are rescues that do that. I mean,
and we've done that. We've all had to put dogs in boarding, but the process should be that they get out of boarding. You don't just keep them in boarding.
Right.
So Kona has been with us a year and a half, back and forth through foster, back and forth through boarding, but we're always trying to come up with a new solution. What we did was the last foster did not work out. It was actually the perfect home. However, his circumstances around him, neighbors, ex-girlfriend, all different other elements, did not work out. He was the perfect adopter, but his lifestyle was not. So I called you and I said, help. I said, I will help you move your other dogs because you have a lot of large breed dogs, and you don't have the same outlet like Pawworks does because we have a storefront. You do mobile adoption events, and so whenever you're able to, or you do transports, when you're able to, you get these dogs out as fast as you can. But they live with you.
Right. They all do.
Until then. So I said, help. I don't know what to do with Kona. I need another set of eyes. I needed suggestions. I need more networking. Please help me. I will take your dogs one at a time. And so we did a dog swap. I now have Star, who's a 9-month-old pity mix. Sweet as can be.
Isn't she amazing?
She is actually very sweet. She's actually going to the store for the first time today.
Oh, awesome.
So I don't see there being any issue us adopting her out in the next few weeks, which is great.
She's so amazing. And Star, I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, Star is a survivor. I mean, she's a parvo survivor. So she came into the shelter with parvo, and she sleeps like a log. Like, she's unbelievable because she was hospitalized for so long.
Yeah.
So she got used to being in a kennel in a crate, and so she doesn't mind the other dogs around. She's
been great. She's been great with bigs, smalls. A very sweet girl. She's just young. She just needs some.
She's a puppy. She still likes to chew,
yes.
But it's like, okay, she's a puppy.
She just needs some direction. But she's a puppy.
Yeah,
that's it.
But she's very playful. I mean, she's very socialized. She's been with me for a while, and so this is a situation. And Kona's actually doing fantastic with me. Yeah. So and I've had her with other dogs, and we're working on it. She's got to kind of feel it, and I'm not going to just be like, here, go, go
play.
Yeah. So, we've done some pack walks and stuff, and it's good for her.
It is.
And she's she's very smart, and she's getting into the routine of things. She's like, okay, wait, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. So, so it's working out. And this is an example of 2 rescue groups saying, okay, what's our objective? Our objective is always to find homes for as many dogs as possible.
Yes.
So okay, I can take Kona, and then now Star is at the adoption center, looking for her forever home, and this gives Kona a chance to just be evaluated, but she's in a home.
And beyond that, I think you probably hit now that you said it, you probably hit the nail on the head by saying that Kona likes routine, and the biggest issue that we've noticed is she doesn't have routine because she's in and out. We're always trying to find her a home, and she doesn't stay long enough to get a routine.
Right.
So she's all over the place. So the fact that you can provide that right now is great because I think it will transition into a home.
Well, and you're absolutely right about that because she looks for that.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because I went to go do something and I missed a little step in my routine, and she just kind of looked at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, you're supposed to give me that treat first, you know. So then I kind of looked because I looked down at her like, "Well, what?" And so I grabbed the treat, and then she's like, "See, that's better, good girl." She's training me. So yeah, I think that's is essential for rescue groups to work together.
Absolutely.
There's so many rescue groups out there that they bash each other or they attack another rescue group. It's like, what is the point? I mean, aren't we all trying to do the same thing? Isn't it a matter of what's in the best interest for the dogs and saving as many lives as possible?
Well, I think in my opinion, I think what ends up happening is each rescue is looking for that next big story, because that big story in a lot of people's minds is what draws the donations in and draws the crowd. And I can see that's the quick way to do it. But in all honesty, if you're consistent and you're successful at what you do in a rescue, that speaks volumes, and people will eventually notice. I mean, I work my butt off. You work your butt off. And that speaks for...
It still keeps growing. I don't know what's going on.
Not that kind of working
right?
off.
Yeah.
We've had this talk too. If you're skinny in rescue, you're not doing real rescue.
Yeah. If you're that gorgeous person, no.
Yeah, no. You're a spokesmodel. Real rescue, you're shoving a hamburger or a slice of pizza or chips or whatever you have,
right.
a soda in your mouth because you're driving to and from vet. So no.
On your way to the next place, always.
If you're a size 4 or below, yeah, that's a side note.
Well,
Sorry.
You're a supporter. If you're a size 4 or below, you could be a rescue supporter.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh, maybe that's just the angry fat people talking in us.
I know, right? We're a little bitter. It's like, okay, I meant to go to the gym. We all have New Year's resolutions, but
right. Exactly. But anyways, I agree. It's all about working together, and we've been fortunate enough to find a few rescues, and I would love to find more. We recently got turned on, as you were talking about. We had a busy week. We picked up 12 puppies, and you know all about puppies.
Yes.
So we picked up 12 puppies from Delano Animal Control. Mm-hmm. And the amazing thing about them, and I was, you hear about the small rural shelters out there and how they kill, and how horrible it is. And probably what they have is not great. Probably you drive out there and you feel a little sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
But the people working there are trying. I mean, we had them from Delano. They drove from Delano to Valencia to meet us halfway.
Oh, wow.
No issue. Didn't think twice about it. Was happy.
Well, because there are shelters. I mean, these people, they don't want to see that. They don't want to see these animals dying every day. Which reminds me, since you're talking about small shelters, I want to talk, when we get back from commercial break, I'll talk a little bit about Champ.
Champ?
So Champ.
I don't think I've heard this story yet.
Yeah, so Champ is a Wasco survivor.
Okay.
So, so we will talk
So tease the story. You have 10 seconds.
Yeah, so beautiful lab puppy.
Ah.
Okay, so, I say puppy, he's about 7 months old. And he was set for execution in Wasco.
Okay,
and
hold it there.
Yeah.
You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Really? Yeah.
They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So I was talking before the commercial break about Champ.
Yes, tell me about Champ.
So Champ, amazing boy. And I think one of the key things to bring to people's attention is someone said to me, how could this purebred lab be in the shelter? And I think people really need to understand that 25% of all the animals that go into the shelter
Yes.
are purebred dogs. So it's like 25%.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a purebred dog, look at your local shelter first, or look with your local rescue. I mean, before you go to that pet store. So Champ is a black lab puppy, about 7 months old. Absolutely amazing. He was terrified when he first came, but there was a call that came through to, it's a long story, but Bark Avenue and Melanie was involved, and then he was set to be euthanized, and they had a 4-day, they were going to be closed for 4 days, so he wasn't going to make it through. So this amazing volunteer, Peggy, drove from Newbury Park. She drove up to Wasco, which is an armpit.
Yeah.
And Wasco Shelter, I mean, they don't have the money for anything.
So because I was unaware of the destitute shelter out there, so inform the listeners when you say no money, give them a perspective to that.
So Wasco Shelter, literally there have been calls for food because they don't have the funding. And it's nothing like our county shelters here. LA County shelters or Ventura County shelter, they always have it within their budget. They're
Yes.
not euthanizing dogs because they don't have the food
Yes.
to take care of the dogs. They have a vet on staff. Wasco Shelter does not. So they do have, from what I understand, a vet that maybe comes in. It's very backwoods kind of place, but it's very close to us. So they don't do shots, they don't do spay and neuter, they don't. I mean, it's very very complicated up there, and I don't have all the information about it because this was just one call out for this one dog, and so Melanie with Bark Avenue, she coordinated everything. We got him out of the shelter and over to Dr. Y's office in Westlake, and they're like, he's a fantastic dog. He seems like he's, dog aggressive. And I said, okay, well, coming straight out of the shelter.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I took him in, and then it turned out that he was just terrified of people. He was clearly abused before. Like, if you moved your hand too fast,
he flinched or growled.
He went to the ground.
Oh, wow.
So there was no aggression. He just went to the ground. And then when I tried bringing him into the house, he was like, put on the brakes, like, no, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, you could tell that he was not allowed in the house also. So.
You okay there?
Yeah, I know. It's having trouble breathing
Sorry,
today.
side note.
Yeah. So to make a long story short, I worked with Champ, and then I found it was just fear. Once he knew he could trust me, he came around very fast. He was very smart. He clearly had not been on a leash before, but he's, suddenly he taking him on walks, and now he's walking on a leash. He's like, there's slack in the leash. He's doing amazing. And so then it was like, okay, now it's time, to get our shots and get microchipped. And then later, he went to get neutered. And I think that was the picture of him, with sad face in the car that I posted. Because he's like, I left my balls, it's all over. But then I had him playing with other dogs. He was absolutely fantastic. And so the happy side of this is that he went from being in the Wasco shelter to into my home, and he went through the process of being with a rescue, and then now he's in an amazing home in Malibu with with 3
Look
kids.
at that.
The family was great, and and that's the power of sharing something on Facebook also. Because
Absolutely.
I had posted them on Facebook. Someone else who volunteers with me at the shelter, he shared it, and then based upon him sharing the picture, she's like, oh my gosh, this is, because they have a senior lab. And so then it turned into a meet and greet. And so then she met him twice, and then the family made the decision, and then I took the dog over. And so it's an overall happy ending. But she said to me, his new adopted mom, I remember her saying, well, what happened here? Like, he's a purebred lab.
Yeah. You just don't understand.
Yeah. So people don't get it. People don't understand that you can get a purebred dog at the shelter.
You can get anything you want.
Yes, whatever you're looking for.
I mean, it may not be at your specific local shelter, but you could go and find whatever dog, whatever cat, whatever you want in a shelter somewhere in the United States.
They're there, and you could save that animal's life. And so
it's true.
And so on that note, now one other thing that I want to make sure that we get to today. So, and I'm not sure if you've seen this yet. There was an emaciated Great Dane. The video went viral because a 12-year-old boy posted the pictures of the conditions of this Great Dane, Alaska, on the internet. And so I want to get to that story because that's
I have not heard of that story.
okay.
So get me all heated, yay.
Exactly.
I'm trying to have a low-key day. Come on. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960.
Are you looking to increase the number of calls you receive at your business? Well, CRN Talk is introducing a new way for customers to reach you without having to remember your phone number or web address. Customers simply dial pound 250 from their mobile phones to say your business name. That's it. They'll be directed immediately to your phone line and receive a text message with a link to your website and phone number. It's that easy. It works so well that we're using it in this commercial. To sign up, dial pound 250 and say, "Help my business." That's pound 250, "Help my business."
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science system features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitize delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So we were talking a little bit about the story on the break. So the story starts, the love of a child and his dog cannot be underestimated. So a 12-year-old boy filmed his Great Dane and was talking about how the Great Dane was being neglected.
Yes.
So, he posted a video of the conditions in which the Great Dane was living. And it went on to show, let's see, this is Jacksonville Animal Control.
Florida?
So, yeah, it must be, right? Jacksonville, I think. Let me see. I know. I got so upset about the story. That
anyways, you keep telling the story.
Florida.
I'll check it out.
Yes, it is Florida.
Okay. Well,
so
no, never mind.
Yeah. So in Florida, in Jacksonville, so he posted a video, apparently, and it went viral, of the condition of his dog, Alaska. And it was really disturbing beyond, I mean, when you see it, he showed there's poop and pee everywhere around the house. And then he talked about how his dog was locked in the bedroom. Mom locked the dog in the bedroom for a week, and you could see where she scratched at the door, and he's like, she chewed off the doorknob. She was really trying to get out of the bedroom, and she's extremely emaciated and clearly not taken care of. I mean, you could see all of her bones, her little Her rib cage is showing, and then you could see her hip bones like protruding. You know, Great Danes like like in the back, and so.
Sorry, I'm watching the video as you're talking.
Right?
I'm multitasking here.
Yeah, there you go. So. You see the condition, and he talks, and he's really, I mean, this is a 12-year-old boy concerned about his dog. And so then what happens is Child Protective Services come in, and they remove the kids.
Which was probably a good thing.
Well, because, I mean, obviously, clearly from the video, I mean, the conditions that they're
It's a
living
deplorable
in.
conditions,
Yes.
absolutely.
So then Animal Control came out. They agreed that the condition of the dog was emaciated and in bad health, and they left the dog.
Yep.
They left the dog with the mom. They took away the kids, right? So the kids were taken away and given to the father, and pending, I'm sure, some kind of case or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, these are not fit conditions for the children. They removed the children based upon the video, and then they left her with the dog, and she refused to give the dog up. And last I heard, they had said something, there's some different pages about it out there, but last I heard she's claiming now that she gave the dog away. And of course this boy loves his dog, Alaska, but she wouldn't allow the dog to go. She wouldn't allow the dog to go with the dad and the kids.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, and you know I'm usually not lack of words here, but I don't understand, and this is something that I will never understand until our world learns how to treat, the animals we bring into it. Whether, and I'm not a vegetarian, so I'm fine with eating meat. There's just a proper way to do things, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand how we will even consider treating each other the way we need to, and it explains why the world is the way it is. It's simple. The kids got taken away. The dog should be taken away. But again, dogs are private property. So whatever the law is, however it needs to go about being done, is different than pulling a child, and it shouldn't be, because these are domesticated animals. We domesticated them, and they rely on us. Now they can't just go and graze and run the fields and find their prey.
When people say in the wild they don't do this, I'm like, but they're not in the wild.
Yes,
animals are domestic.
Yes,
and
we did
not
that.
All animals, but our dogs are domestic,
and we created that. Mm-hmm. So it's on our shoulders to take care of them, and until we stop treating them as private property, there's nothing's going to change. We're going to keep seeing this over and over again. We're going to keep seeing the piece of POS,
oh, very good.
that POS in Santa Barbara that tortured little, was it Davy?
Oh, Davy, yeah.
We're going to keep seeing this because we don't look at it any other way. There's rescue people.
Well,
and
it's a felony now. All 50 states, it's a felony. Now, this is clearly abuse.
Clearly.
So how could Jacksonville Animal Control leave this dog in this situation?
Because it goes into the Animal Control Department to be prosecuted, and then they have to get the police officers. They have to do it. And again, as you know, you go into most animal services department, they're so unorganized. They're so not put together. And it's rare that you go into many county or city shelters and you were like, wow, okay, they got their
stuff together.
They got their stuff together.
Well, this is the other thing that I thought about with this, in this situation, because I actually offered to take this girl. I said I would take her in different groups that I was talking to, if there's a way to get her here.
Yes.
And if we could get her to relinquish the dog, that I would take care of her medical and proceed with her. Now, here's the other thing. If they did confiscate the dog, if Animal Control confiscated the dog, then you've got a PD hold, police department hold.
Yes.
So now you've got an emaciated Great Dane
in a shelter
that needs to be taken care of and cared for in a shelter that's on a police department hold.
Yeah.
So,
and if anybody knows anything about Great Danes, a Great Dane in a shelter would not do well at all.
No. I mean, and we're talking, it's cold. There's a number of things, but she's clearly she needs medical care. So, but if there's a PD hold on a dog, if a dog is confiscated based upon a PD hold, police department hold, rescues can't take her.
Yeah, rescues can't take her, and minimal, only emergency care can be given.
Yes.
So you can, she can eat, you can deworm her, you can give her vaccines, and if she has an emergency, you can treat it. But other than that, you can't do anything.
But she can't go into a home.
Yep.
PD hold, you can't even go into foster.
Yep.
So it's all a matter of, and
maybe we should start PD holding children. Maybe they'll get a reality check.
I want to PD hold the person that did it. Let's just put her in a cell. Maybe I'd feel better about it. But no, I mean, and that's a key thing in this situation. I mean, clearly this animal was neglected, abused. It's a felony. So how can we leave the dog there? But then if it's removed, what do we do with it? Because now it's in a shelter.
And jokingly, that's why I said maybe we need to start PD holding children that we take out so they get a reality check that these animals are living, breathing, have a soul, have whatever you want to believe, but they're living, breathing. We domesticate them, and then we treat them like second class.
Well, we treat them like they're just property. It's like move the couch over there.
Yes, put it in a cell. So maybe if we started doing that to children we take out or people we take out of situations, we'll get a little reality check.
Well, and how about the fact that the boy still
We got 15 seconds to commercial break. Now you got me heated. Look at what you did. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
Hi, I'm Larry Minetti from Magnum PI. Remember me? I played Rick. And over the years, I've been asked so many times to republish my book, Aloha Magnum, which is a 5-star hit. Well, folks, I did it. If you want to see the behind-the-scenes episodes and all the naughty things that went on Magnum PI, you go to the internet and punch up LarryMinetti.com, and Aloha Magnum is there at your reach. I thank you for your loyalty. Take care, folks.
Hello, CRN listeners. This is Michael Horn, inviting you to join me and my co-host, sommelier Nicole Nielsen from Roost Chris Steakhouse, as we present What's Cooking on Wine. Find out about the latest trends in wine, great food, spirits, and a whole lot more. It's What's Cooking on Wine, done live at 6 o'clock Monday nights at Roost Chris Steakhouse in Pasadena, California, and then the replays throughout the weekend right here on CRN. So if you love wine and you love great food, it's What's Cooking on Wine right here on CRN.
Welcome to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. I guess that's what happens. It's like, okay, we start, Chad wanted to just relax today.
I did. I wanted to be all fluffy and light today. And
don't give me anything heated.
Talk about kitties and puppies, and that's all we do in the world is
just
roll around with puppies, and they kiss us and puppy breath. Yes. Darn you.
I know, right? Well, and that's the one thing. And now they're telling, now apparently they said the mom gave the dog away because she was receiving so much attention, from the rescue community, and it was out there and it's gone viral. And now they're telling, because the dad who now has the children wants the dog. The kids are pleading. I mean, please, we it's their dog. Right, and that's why he did the video in the first place, is for his pup, right? So for Alaska, and so now, how nasty of a mom is she that she wouldn't let her children have their dog where they could be cared for? And he's like,
well, you saw the conditions that her kids were living in. So what kind of mom do you think she was?
Yeah, she's a little drug.
Good catch.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. We're not.
Yes, we are a little judgmental on this show at times.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The thing about
nasty.
not only
She's nasty. I saw that house.
The thing about rescue is, and I say this all the time, we're all a little crazy, but it's a business. No matter what you say, it's a business. How we have to run it. You have to bring in money. You have to create money, funds, streams of income. You have expenses, lawyers, accountants. You have all that. So it's a business. But it's an emotional business. It's a business that every single day there's highs and lows, and it's emotionally driven because you're dealing with these lives. And so it makes us irate when we see stuff like this because you and I and all the other people in rescue are working so hard to stop this and to save these animals. I mean, and then you see this and you see all this attention this case is getting, and you don't understand why the county or city, services there are not doing more about it.
They're just confirming they didn't confiscate the dog.
Yes.
That's how they're doing.
And you just don't understand, like, okay, why aren't you doing more? I get it's hard. I mean, you're understaffed. Everybody's working, long hours. Not really, because if you're a county employee, you're set hours. So
right.
No comment on that, but I had to say that under my breath.
Yeah, it has to be emotionally taxing,
yes,
though.
Yes.
There are good people in animal control.
Absolutely.
And there are very bad people in animal control.
Absolutely.
And you're happy when they retire or get fired or even move positions, go to an office somewhere where you're not actually dealing with the dogs. But it's an emotional thing.
Yes.
And
so when you see this and you don't, and it's getting a lot of attention, you don't understand why more is not being done. It goes back to, let's take Davy, for example. Why a gentleman after 6 months who raped and tortured and burned how old? 6-month-old puppy?
Yeah, he was just a little puppy.
Little puppy gets 6 months for that and then is released. And then we're like, oh, yay, he got deported. Big deal.
Yeah, so he could go back to China and just do more of it.
Well, okay. Side note on that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a good example, that last part. The first part was good. Doesn't help when we send them back to people that don't really value.
And don't have the same value.
Yes, of domesticated animals. Anyways, gosh.
But we're doing some of that here, too, I have to say. I mean, there are some projects, and I was just speaking to someone about this earlier today, that they say, okay, you can't have dogs. They have an ordinance where you can't have dogs over 30 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we all jumped in. I was part of this huge influx of big dogs that were coming over from China because China did it, and I couldn't believe China did it. And then I'm talking to someone today, and they're like, oh, well, no, they have this in a lot of the domestic housing now, or the Section 8 housing, that you can't have a dog over 30 pounds. So then they're like, oh, yeah, well, that pit bull, there's breed restrictions against pitties.
So now Section 8 has breed restrictions?
I just heard about this today. And so I'm going to definitely
go government. Go government. We love you sometimes.
Yeah. So this lady's probably on Section 8. Looking at
which there's nothing wrong if you're on Section 8 and you're trying to take care of yourself and get off Section 8. There's nothing wrong with it. It's meant to help you.
That's right. So I will. That's a whole different.
But
I guess. Yeah, that's a whole different.
But the fact that the government is telling you in Section 8 that
they have restrictions. I just heard that they have restrictions, and so I'm like, how is that? Is that possible?
Wow.
So and that's yet to be. I mean, I didn't get all the details, and so I'm gonna.
You need to get the details if we're going to be talking about that, because that's going to get us all heated.
Exactly. Well, but I do know that there are plenty of places, and you and I both know this, that HOAs and things of that nature. I mean, there are breed restrictions.
Oh, absolutely.
Insurance restrictions.
Everywhere.
They're like, oh, you can't have a pitty.
Every city you live in, there's a breed restriction, and most apartments and HOAs have breed restrictions. You will be very fortunate to find an apartment or a HOA, anything like that doesn't. And if you do, great. Let people know, because we'll talk about it. That apartment complex will be full, and those condos, we'll make sure everybody buys them, because that's a great thing. But it's very rare to find that.
Well, I mean, I think that's just to say that this dog is not allowed here based upon its breed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different pot of craziness, because you'll let the little yapping biting chihuahua, but you won't let this
and don't get me wrong, I have 4 chihuahuas. I love my chihuahuas, but they're a pain in the butt.
Oh, I mean, I have chihuahuas too, but I have
we
one
love them.
That's absolutely insane.
But chihuahuas are the most the most aggressive and bite occurrence in all dogs, I think.
Is that?
I think it's
I'm
the
not
Chihuahua.
surprised.
I'm pretty sure it's the
Well,
Chihuahua.
it doesn't
Pit
shock
bulls is like 7. I think it's not the top 3.
No,
They're
well,
like 6, 7, or 8.
But yet there's stereotype, which is a whole different.
We're going to go on so many subtopics today and just go crazy. But you're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Experience the romantic getaway you deserve at Maui's premier bed and breakfast, the Plantation Inn. With plantation-style architecture and decor combined with modern amenities such as dual rain showers and whirlpool hot tubs, guests relax in a tranquil oasis in the heart of Maui's historic Lahaina town. The inn is situated conveniently less than 2 blocks from Lahaina Harbor, as well as the famous French Street, known for its range of shops, restaurants, gallery walks, and museums. The Plantation Inn is home to Gerard's Restaurant, voted Open Table's top most romantic restaurants in North America. Chef Gerard's contemporary island French cuisine consistently earns some of the highest ratings in Hawaii. Come discover why Hawaii Magazine readers named the Plantation Inn #1 best bed and breakfast in Hawaii. Visit theplantationinn.com or call us at 667-9225.
As we are all aware, restaurants and celebrity chefs come and go. But one restaurant is constant, El Cholo. Hi, this is Larry Elder. Since 1923, the original El Cholo on Western Avenue and those in La Habra, Santa Monica, downtown LA, Anaheim Hills, and the latest Corona Del Mar have served millions of loyal fans and multiple generations. If you've dined there, you know the reason why. It's those fresh green corn tamales, Carmen's historic nachos, the margaritas, and so much more. Treat yourself and dine at a restaurant you really want to go to, not one where you're supposed to go to. El Cholo. I know I do.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science System features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitize delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Are you looking to increase the number of calls you receive at your business? Well, CRN Talk is introducing a new way for customers to reach you without having to remember your phone number or web address. Customers simply dial pound 250 from their mobile phones to say your business name. That's it. They'll be directed immediately to your phone line and receive a text message with a link to your website and phone number. It's that easy. It works so well that we're using it in this commercial. To sign up, dial pound 250 and say, "Help my business." That's pound 250, help my business.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Oh, always catching up.
Well, during the commercial break, that's when we say everything we can't actually say on the air.
Yes. If you don't know us, we actually all cuss like sailors. And we can't do that because we'll get fined, and that would be, we'd get all in trouble, and we can't do that. But we do. We cuss like sailors.
No. Well, it's the circumstances. I give it to that. Yeah, exactly. Because I was trying not to cuss. See, that's what happens.
I know. It's hard. It's hard when you're used to it. And you know what? We are educated. Both of us are educated people. We have a college degree.
Yeah.
We are educated.
Educated.
Yes, exactly. So whoever said that, if you can't say anything other than a profanity, then you're not. It's not true. It's just sometimes
it warrants it. Like the situation. I mean, definitely in rescue.
There
are things I'm like, oh.
Yes. It just gets your point across a lot faster. It really does. So sorry, but no, we don't do it on the radio.
Yeah.
So
we've got to control ourselves, which is the reason why you
so
hear just
hard.
like,
sometimes there's silence because we don't know what to say.
Exactly, especially when it comes to something like this. Well, I hope in this case with Alaska, like I said, I'm putting it out there on the radio. We are a nationwide radio show. I'm willing to take Alaska. If Alaska's out there, I would take Alaska in and take care of her. And
And then we would probably adopt her out.
Right, exactly. But that's what we do, right?
Right.
I mean, so often I take these
Yes.
medical cases in, and then once they're ready for their forever home, then I work with PawWorks, and
Yep.
PawWorks finds them, that home that they're looking for.
That
so
works. I mean, let's take Star. She was a parvo survivor.
She was a parvo survivor. So I mean, and she's amazing, and I can't wait to see her in a
Yeah, I
forever
know.
home. I mean,
We're
'cause
excited.
She's such a good girl, and I think Kona, once we get her in a good routine, I think that she's going to be, once she has that set, I think that she's going to be looking for that. She'll be ready.
I will be ecstatic when that
So-
happens because we were at a little bit of a loss, and I'm glad we did the change because I think that's what she needed. I knew she needed something that we weren't giving her at the moment. And sometimes when you're in it, you need
It's
a new
hard
set
to
of
see it.
eyes, and you're like, "What is it? What am I not giving you?
Right?
Please
You're like,
tell
"Please,
me."
We need to find you that forever home, and that's what we want for every dog
Yep.
that we take in. So she's doing extremely well. And Star, I know, is at the adoption event this weekend, so we're really
Yep.
looking forward to that for her.
So what's going on with you this week? Anything exciting? We have like a minute
Yeah, we have,
and a half,
we have
I
a few
think.
seconds. Well, I'm going to post the stories that we talked about today, and I'm going to get some more information about that. But other than that, I mean, we're working on the pups, and I'm really excited for Champ. I mean, he got an awesome home, and so
That's awesome.
So I'm going to be flying high on that for the next week, and it's a really small world how everyone knows each other. But I'll go into that later. But and I saw that you got that amazing hospice foster out of Ventura. That's
Yes,
great.
yes. Diego is a bully breed. Cancer lesions on his body, all over his body. He's like 10 plus years old, bad hips, bad spine.
But he's out of the shelter.
He's out of the shelter,
is what we
and
do.
he does have life. It's not like it's that time yet.
Yeah.
He just wants, a warm bed and good food and grass under and a loving hand
And
to
isn't
hold
that
him.
what we do? I mean, that's why we do what we do, is because we want to make sure that they all have quality of life.
Absolutely. But on the next 2 Wednesdays, if you're around the Ventura area, we have a local brewing company giving us a percentage of their proceeds. So if you like beer,
nice.
come drink
There
beer.
you go. Time for some beer.
And then,
Well, let's make sure we post that on our site also.
it's Pints with a Purpose. So
There you go.
I like it. We still have like 40 seconds. And then we're doing our next spay and neuter clinic on February 12th in Oxnard. So if any listeners are in the Ventura County area, low income, this is please, be respectful of that. It's for the low income residents of Ventura County because it is so expensive to do a lot of the veterinary care that they can't afford. And that doesn't mean that they're not good homes. So we provide this service for all low income residents of Ventura County. We'll announce that on our Facebook page. But Your Animal Foundation of America, I'm PawWorks. This is Rescue Radio. Have a great week, and we will see you next week. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Which is most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your